When it comes to rigging elections, Republicans are the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going and going. First, it was a series of restrictions on voting, from cutbacks in early voting to voter ID laws to new hurdles registering voters. Then there was the Republicans' bold plan to change how electoral college votes are counted in blue states by handing out those electoral college votes based on who wins each congressional district in the state, which, thanks to Republican gerrymandering in 2010, would have made it virtually impossible for Democrats to win future presidential elections. That plan was shot down by a number of prominent Republicans who saw it as blatant, maybe too blatant, election rigging. But now Republicans in Pennsylvania are trying something new. Rather than handing out electoral college votes on a winner-take-all system like Pennsylvania and nearly every other single state does, Republicans want to hand out electoral college votes based on the proportion of the popular vote. Barack Obama won Pennsylvania in 2012 and won all of that state's 20 electoral college votes. But under this new Republican vote rigging scheme, he would only receive 12 votes, and Mitt Romney would have received 8 votes. It's a blatantly political move to help Republicans win the White House in 2016. And here's the thing. This isn't a plan being pushed by crazies in the state. The top Republican in the Senate, the top Republican in the House, and Pennsylvania's Republican Governor Tom Corbett all support this plan to rig the Electoral College. Joining me now for more on what this means and whether or not other states will follow is Brad Friedman, editor and publisher of thebradblog.com. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Tom. Good to talk to you.
It's always great to have you with us here. From using corporate voting machines to voter restrictions to voter suppression ID laws to now rigging the Electoral College, does this seem to you like, one party is a lot more eager to attack democracy than another party?
Oh, there's no question about it. Some people have called this a Republican war on voting. I call it a Republican war on democracy because it's the voting, it's the registration, it's the money, campaign finances. Yeah, they hate democracy, and we're seeing it yet again in Pennsylvania, where they could do this scheme. We'll see if it happens. A lot of the other states that have gone Democratic but are currently run by Republicans have thought better of it because they realize that, look, if you're a swing state, you get a whole lot of money come election time in ads and so forth in your state. If you balance it out so that it's sort of 50-50, as it would be in Pennsylvania, for example, the politicians are going to take their ad money elsewhere. On the other hand, the governor of Pennsylvania, Tom Corbett, is not necessarily the brightest bulb in the pack. He's incredibly partisan, and he may well decide to go through with this scheme if it's passed by the legislature. Remember, Pennsylvania still has their photo ID restriction law in place, and it was going to be used in the May primary. For now, it's been stayed for this primary, but it's still on the books, and it still may come back to haunt voters in Pennsylvania, where the Republicans apparently are willing to do anything but change their policies in order to try to win elections.
Amazing. It's like if you can't win the game, rig the game. We're still 4 years out from the next election. Is it a safe bet that we'll see other Republican states or other states under Republican control, particularly states that have traditionally voted, at least at the presidential level, blue for Democrats, but you have Republican governors and legislatures, Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, things like that, that we will see that happen in other states?
I wouldn't put anything by them. In fact, Reince Priebus, the chair of the GOP, has come out and said, yeah, I think this is a great idea. In states that tend to go for Democrats but are currently run by Republicans, he's all in favor of it. So, yeah, he would like to see that happen. But again, you've got, sort of two things working. Not as if Republicans are suddenly struck with a conscience in these states, but they realize this will hurt their states, financially, and if you break it down by congressional district, as some of these plans do, this means there's going to be a whole lot more money coming into specific districts, which used to be, safe Republican districts, and all of a sudden they're going to be targeted.
So there's a lot of unintended consequences at work there.
Exactly.
In his State of the Union address, the president announced a commission to look into the problems that voters experienced in 2012. Do you think the voting machines will be part of the discussion?
Actually, not from what they said, not from what the White House said they wanted out of this commission. That may be a good thing, because if you haven't noticed, the co-chair of this commission The Republican co-chair is a guy by the name
lawyer.
of Ben Ginsburg. Well, and it's Ben Ginsburg, a guy who's been fighting against voters, a guy who worked with the Swift boat veterans back in 2004, even while he was working with Bush Cheney. He's incredibly partisan. I don't know what to expect out of this commission. I don't expect much. But I would be more worried about the Supreme Court coming up there looking at the Voting Rights Act in another week, and this could really cut the knees out from voting rights across the entire country. That's what we have to really keep our eyes on this year, I'm afraid.